in Chicopee, Massachusetts, and you can hear America's true heroes are here with us, and we are so honored to be here today. What an amazing crowd. Guys, this is incredible. Skip, Stephen A. How are we doing?
I'm doing wonderful.
Yeah?
I can't complain. Life is good. It's good to be here. A lot of servicemen and women loving it.
It's incredible. You had a good week. You had a good week with your picks there, too.
I can't hear you right now, Molly. I can't hear you right now.
Because everybody's so excited to have you guys here. But now we can. How are we doing, Skip?
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. We should be cheering you all. How we doing, guys?
We're great.
Oh, I'm fantastic.
Yeah.
What's up, man?
You got gloves on. It's
Yes, I
not
do.
that
Yeah,
cold
he's
out
soft.
here.
It's in the
What a
30s.
whip this guy
It's in the
is.
30s.
Come
It's in the 30s. You know, it's all right. Plus, I didn't want to get my hands dirty from you today because I know you are. Because I know you upset. I know you upset. You had a rough night.
So you got those eagle green gloves on? Is that what you're saying?
Actually, they're gray.
Yeah,
They're gray to go with the blazer.
I don't think they
It's
match, but
kinda
it's
smooth.
okay.
It works for me. I'm warm.
I have
That's
to
all
give you props. You had a nice picks there this week.
You know, it's all right.
You did all right.
That's you know, I only care about one pick.
What? Okay. Is that my cue? Should we get into it?
Let's go.
All right. Huge NFC East showdown on Sunday Night Football. The Eagles take down the Cowboys 33-27 in overtime thanks to a 41-yard touchdown pass to Jordan Matthews. Stephen A.
Yes.
Go.
Well, listen.
I don't think I will listen. I'm going to tune this out. Go ahead.
Selective hearing.
You know, I just want to let my brother from another mother, Skip Bayless,
Oh, here we
know.
go.
You know, I got love for you, bro. I'm here for you.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that it was tough watching Jordan Matthews skirt into the end zone like that, especially considering how the Cowboys started off the game. Des Bryant was just balling a 51-yard reception. You know, in the first quarter, they got out to a 7-0 lead. Cole Beasley doing what he did. What did he have? 9 receptions for 112 yards. He was absolutely spectacular. Had 2 touchdown passes. Matt Castle actually looked good until Jordan Hicks with the interception and the 61-yard touchdown return, up pick 6 yet again. Here's what it comes down to. You know, the Cowboys, since Tony Romo went down in week 2, over the 6 games that he has been gone, the Dallas Cowboys are 0-6. And my man Skip Bayless, as we sit here in this wonderful setting with our servicemen and women surrounding us, you are popular for talking about how the Dallas Cowboys are America's team. I think the servicemen and women here would acknowledge that America isn't associated with mediocrity. And the Dallas Cowboys are 0-6 without Tony Romo. They are 2-6 on the season, and they are the walking epitome of mediocrity, which is to be kind. In the end, at the moment in time, your Dallas Cowboys, they don't stink. It's just that their record does. And their record is all that matters. The floor is yours, Skip Bayless. Take it away while I fix my earpiece.
Molly, that's all of this topic. Next topic.
I don't blame you. I do that too.
Okay. I really and truly thought my Dallas Cowboys would win last night. And I told you that on Thursday and Friday on this show. Yeah. And I was dead wrong about that. But at least I was loyal. At least I went down with the ship.
Oh, Lord.
And I'm proud of myself for sticking with it, even though I had to, you want to talk about excruciating? I had to watch the quarterback from the college I root for, Oklahoma, Sam Bradford, throw the winning touchdown pass in overtime to a receiver from my alma mater, Vanderbilt, Jordan Matthews. That's how bad that was at the end of that game for me.
It stung.
But here's the point. Do you realize 5 of those 6 times that you talk about, those 6 losses?
Yes.
I had to watch my team play just well enough to lose excruciatingly. Now, the one game out of those 6 they really had no chance against was the New England Patriots. They had no chance. Go Patriots. Way to go. Way to go.
I see what you did there, Stephen A. I
Thank
see what
you.
he did.
Thank you. Thank you. Now we've got it on the right topic.
You're
right?
not Tom Brady's biggest fan here today.
Yeah, I am Tom Brady's biggest fan, and we're about to get to Tom Brady.
Yes.
But other than the Patriots-Cowboys game, you realize that 5 times I was forced to stomach the painful truth. The bottom line again last night, my Cowboys just aren't good enough to win without the guy who should have been MVP, I thought, last year, Tony Romo, throwing to a Des Bryant who obviously is not completely healthy. He played with his guts last night. He could not play with that injured foot because it was painful to watch Des Bryant try to separate from DBs that he could not run by. He still cannot run. He looks about 75% to me, and he just went out there and on guts alone, he ripped one out of the air for a touchdown and kept them alive in that game. I agree with you. Matt Castle actually mostly played better than Sam Bradford. Or as I used to call him, Sam Badford. I'm not going to call him that today because he was pretty good last night.
You dropped the R.
But I will. But as you point out, Stephen A., if you're playing a good team, even at home, you can't throw a pick six. You're going to lose that game. And that was pretty much the difference in the end of that game was the pick six that he threw. And Matt Sandcastle, as I called him last night, because he's like a sandcastle. He's good for one of those a game, so you're not going to win with that. I thought Darren McFadden was really good last night with 129 yards rushing. Talk about balling out. But guess what? DeMarco Murray got his revenge, coming back to Jerry's house, the guy who ran him out of town, Jerry Jones, because DeMarco made all the key plays in the game. The key run and especially a couple of key catches that really hurt his former team, the Dallas Cowboys.
Yes.
And I must say, that I thought, in general, the Eagles' offensive line was better than what I consider the best offensive line in football, my Cowboys' offensive line. And the Eagles' defensive line definitely played better than my defensive line. So my defense, once again, even though it held Sam Bradford to 3 out of 13 on third down, it forced 0 turnovers. You can't win that way. They forced 4 turnovers the whole year. You're not going to win a game if you can't make a play. And without Orlando Scandrick, their best defensive player out there in the secondary, they have no playmakers. Right. So I'm like pleading on Twitter, just make one little play, just one. Yeah. It'll turn the game around. Yeah, and they cannot make one little play, not one measly play. A play, the play, any play, they're not going to make it. Right, so in the end, they hang in, they force overtime against a decent team, and then what happened? They lost the coin flip because the Philly called tails, and it was tails. It always comes up heads, but it came up tails. And as soon as the kid called tails and it came up tails, I said, I'm done. I'm cooked because they're just going to go score. And they did, and I had to sit there all night long and get my guts ripped out one last time. So I'm not giving up. I'm not jumping off this bandwagon. They're nearly dead, but not quite, because they are in the NFC least, and they're still semi-afloat. No team has ever come from 2-6 to make the playoffs ever. They are now 2-6. But I will remind you, RG3's rookie year, what happened? They were 3-6, the Washington Redskins, and they came all the way from 3-6 to win the division and make the playoffs. So maybe if my team can go down to Jameis Winston country and win that game as your Giants did barely yesterday.
We won. That's all that matters.
Thanks to Mike Evans' drops. How many balls is he going to drop?
I saw your Twitter timeline.
I saw him drop at least 3.
Okay, thank you very much. So you survived. God bless. Way to go. You got control of the division for the moment, but it ain't over quite yet, even at 2-6. I'm not going to give up.
Keep hope alive.
Well, keep hope alive. Keep hope alive. You know, you're not really seeing the big picture of what's transpiring here. So allow me to crystallize it for you. You know, Skip Bayless, when I religiously call the Dallas Cowboys the accident waiting to happen, please understand, let me remind our listeners, our viewers out here, what the deal is. When I talk about the Dallas Cowboys being the accident waiting to happen, I repeatedly state, oh, no, I'm not talking about blowouts. I'm not talking about foregone conclusions. I'm not talking about turning your TV off after the first quarter because they stink. No. What I'm talking about is them constantly teasing you. Right up until the moment you get all hype and your heart gets pumping and you're like, let's go, we can do this. And then all of a sudden, bam, here they go. They just ruin everything for you. They mess up your evening, they mess up your week, they always mess up your holiday. This is what they do. This is what what they do. And I said, if you remember, when you picked them to go to the Super Bowl, Skip Bayless, what did I say to you? I said, in my perfect world, I don't want to lose the bet, so I didn't want them to go to the Super Bowl. But in my perfect world, whether it's the NFC Championship game or even the Super Bowl appearance, you got to lead. You're driving down. Everything looks beautiful. And then my dream scenario is an interception, return for a touchdown, and you lose the biggest game of your life. In other words, anything that the Dallas Cowboys can do to tease you is beautiful to me. This is what they do. This is who they are. They haven't won a Super Bowl in 20 years. They've got 3 playoff victories in 20 years. They tease better than anybody in the modern day era. Okay, they're professional teasers. That's what they are. This is what they do. And so it's just a beautiful, beautiful thing because last night, once again, against an Eagles team that is superior at this moment in time and should have ran away with the game, the Dallas Cowboys were competitive. They nipped and tucked. They fought valiantly. And I sat up there and I said, this game going in overtime. This game going in overtime.
And you were scared. I know you. You were scared.
That's right. I was. Yeah. And then I imagine. But see, here's the problem. The only downside is I do like to sleep. And when they won the way that they won, it woke me up because I imagined how miserable you were. And it just made me so happy.
I was miserable.
It just made me so happy it just made me so happy. And, so it is what it is. Your Cowboys still have a chance, but it's slim. It's closing in on none. And obviously, Tony Romo's value has elevated exponentially, and he deserves a lot of credit for that. But in the end, he's not available yet, is he?
No, not for 2 more weeks.
November 22nd.
More weeks. And by the way, when he comes back, he'll still be rusty. And even though Miami ain't that impressive, that still ain't going to stop Ndamukong Suh and those boys from hitting them. So we got to hope that collarbone's okay.
You better hope that they lose next week so they're completely out of it before he comes back. This would be your worst nightmare if they creep back into a playoff spot, right?
No, you know what? They're not America's team. But I will tell you this, it is interesting when the Dallas Cowboys are interesting. I don't want them irrelevant like they are now.
Yep.
I'd like them to be a bit interesting.
They might get interesting.
They might. They might.
Well, here's the bottom line.
Then again,
that even you have admitted several times on this show. If Tony Romo and Des Bryant had stayed completely healthy, the Dallas Cowboys would be running away with the division.
I will give you that, too.
You're absolutely right.
Thank you.
Absolutely right. But I continuously tell you, my prognostications about the Dallas Cowboys isn't based on their talent. I said something will go wrong because they're the Cowboys. And sure enough, it does repeatedly. Congratulations.
Thank you.
This is the Cowboys' longest losing streak since Troy Aikman was a rookie. Let's move on.
I'm sorry, what year was that? I'm sorry.
That was about 26 years ago.
1989. First year Jerry Jones took over. And then what happened in a couple of years? They won 3 out of 4 Super Bowls.
Well, even
encyclopedia.
Even I rooted for them because I'm a Michael Irvin and Emmitt Smith fan. So
we know you're a fan of a lot of things. We'll get to your teams later.
There we go.
The Packers have now lost